it all comes down to one word: inflammation. Bone and muscle is one unit. And for both to be well, we need protein.
Let's talk about smart longevity strategies. As a Gen X mum, founder, and podcaster, my days can be long and demanding. That's why I love learning about longevity and cellular wellness breakthroughs that work hard and smart. Time Capsule by Melrose Future Lab is the first TGA-listed all-in-one longevity supplement. It combines 12 clinically backed ingredients in one daily formula to support energy, metabolism, cognition, cardiovascular health, bone strength, and antioxidant protection. Powered by Lipispurs and Verispurs for enhanced absorption, it includes niacinamide riboside for cellular energy, resveratrol antioxidant defense, and berberine to support glucose metabolism. Plus essentials like activated B vitamins, magnesium, vitamin D3 with K2. Because real longevity is not just about one thing. It's sleep, nutrition, mindset, and yes, supplements. It's about everything working together. Time Capsule makes it simple.
Hearing the scientist discovering a new drug that was going to help patients with diabetes, and we had for the first time a drug that not only improved glucose control in patients with type 2 diabetes, but also their weight, because normally type 2 diabetes is related or goes hand in hand with obesity, overweight. So for the first time, we were having a drug that, yes, it improved the glucose of the patients, but also it didn't gain weight, and maybe they were going to be losing weight. So when I finished my training, I couldn't wait to start prescribing this medication. So in back 2008, 2009 is the first time that I started prescribing these medications. And it's been pretty much the center of my practice since then.
And as an endocrinologist, I would love for you to explain to my audience, if they've never seen an endocrinologist, what the main function of this specialty is.
So endocrinologists, we specialized in hormones, right? Our body works with hormones. Hormones are messengers in the body that take a message of a function or of to perform a certain specific duty in per organ. So through the glands in the body, we make hormones, and endocrinologists are like the maestros of this hormonal symphony. So I really think that GLP-1 medications are bringing so much to medicine, to science, and not just through the weight loss, but what we're learning through what happens in the body with obesity, because now we're seeing all these improvements in different systems that we were not as aware that they were caused by obesity or being overweight or having uncontrolled type 2 diabetes. So we can even say that GLP-1s are opening like a Pandora box of all the negative effects that obesity can have in the body, right? Or eating high processed food or eating large amounts of food, because through improving visceral fat, improving weight loss, we're seeing improvement in many other systems beyond what we were only expecting, right? Improving your glucose, improving your metabolism. We're seeing improvement in fertility. I'm sure you heard like the Ozempic babies, improving in sleep apnea, improving on osteoarthritis and autoimmune diseases. And it all comes down to one word: inflammation.
I have a special ageless listener offer. Ready to simplify your longevity stack? Our Season 11 sponsor, Melrose Future Lab, is offering ageless listeners 40% off your first Time Capsule order. Just use the code AGELESS at checkout. T's and C's apply. Offered valid on one-time purchases of Time Capsule. Only available now at melrosefuturelab.com.au.
Right.
Yes.
Because our body is in constant inflammation when a patient has obesity or overweight or low muscle mass or high glucose in their blood and their body, this is causing chronic inflammation. And when your body, where the immune system that was made to protect us from a virus, from a bacteria, from COVID, from a bacteria, from cancer cells, from autoimmune diseases, is so preoccupied in the fat tissue, sick fat tissue in obesity or in type 2 diabetes from hyperglycemia, insulin resistant, that it leaves the doors open for something to attack our health and our body, right? So by diminishing this, by improving this and relieving our immune system from the inflammation, we're seeing improvement in many other things. That the culprit is always inflammation. And we can talk about dementia and Alzheimer's disease, right? That's a a pro-inflammatory neurological disease.
Why is there so much controversy around how long you stay on the medication so that you don't have the weight gain?
One, when we take a step back and what we remember, these medications were prescribed for obesity and overweight. Obesity is not a temporary problem in somebody's life, right? I mean, for most patients, for the majority, it's a chronic, multifactorial disease. Chronic meaning that is not curable. And we have chronic disease like hypertension, type 2 diabetes, hypercholesterolemia when it's not hereditary or genetic, right? So we have chronic diseases that we use medications to improve a number, and then once we improve that number, we get to the goal, we don't usually stop the medication. As an example, high blood pressure medication. We give you blood pressure medication, we improve your blood pressure. Rarely do we stop the medication because it's the drug while you're taking it that is working and controlling. If we stop it, most likely your blood pressure will go back up. Same concept with weight loss. The problem is that when we want to use it temporary to a short-term goal, not remembering that they're designed to treat a disease, not to get you to the next party stress. If some women never struggle with weight, there's no family history of obesity or overweight. She encounters midlife and she starts gaining weight. Maybe that's a patient that will not need to be on it long term on a GLP-1. But if you have the same woman that in her teenage years struggled with weight, become physically active, watch what she eat, it was maintaining her weight in her 20s or 30s, she had a kid, entered midlife, then there's a chance that she may need it long term. So I always tell my patients, don't make a smoothie out of it, right? Don't add yogurt and flaxseed and fruit and berries and banana, because then it becomes a meal if you're on a GLP-1.
Say that again, because that is the best
That
tip.
will becomes a meal when you're on a GLP-1, and then you're
So
not
do
going to be
not make a
hungry.
smoothie out of all
Do
of these.
not make us, it's a protein shot. Think about it as a protein shot.
What
And you
about
know,
protein waters? Do you think that
protein
they
water.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we have to get very creative to get that amount of protein in a day, right? So
Mhm.
protein water is it's a good option because there are protein water that has whey protein, and then some even have electrolytes. So you're getting your hydration and you can do that on the go. You don't have to prepare like a protein shake. And I say protein shakes when you wake up and when you go to sleep because most likely you'll be home, right? Most likely you have access to your blender and the powder and the milk, and you don't have to worry when you're outside in the day, then you can do the food. Or carry a protein water with you, or even protein bars. I just don't like that to become a protein bar, every single day type of supplement, right? Because most bars are highly processed. Normally, when we eat, we drink our liquids, right? So just by the simple concept of that you're going to eat less, you're going to drink less, then you get dehydrated. You can be very dehydrated with a GLP-1, but because you're not hungry, the thirst effect does not kick in. So
Mm.
you can be dehydrated and not feeling thirsty. And that's a problem, right? And the dehydration can go from just causing fatigue to extreme fatigue to urinary tract infections or to kidney stones from severe dehydration, right? So we have different levels of dehydration, but we want to prevent the most serious one from happening. And the fatigue can be truly limiting for some patients. And it's really the majority of the times is purely severe dehydration. So proactively, I recommend my patients that they should be drinking water proactively to make sure to avoid the dehydration, right? To know that you're well hydrated, you should be urinating about every 3 hours, more or less.
You're listening to the highlights edit of a longer episode. If you enjoyed this clip, be sure to download and listen to the full episode.